my friend, it's Pat Sloan here on Thursday. So I have a quilt parade at the end. I have a small segment that was messed up on Monday, so I'm going to redo it here. And it is chocolate chip day and bakery weekend. I'm just going to call it bakery weekend. One of the days on the weekend is bakery day. So if you have quilts that are what would you say, like have baked goods on them, chocolate chip cookies, cupcakes, bread, any kind of baked good things, share those at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. It'd be so fun to see. I know there've been a lot of fabrics with those kind of images on it over the years, so they're super cool. Okay, so I want to remind you, first of all, the Liberty Box. If you love these mystery boxes, which I do, I sometimes feel like the Liberty Box is like the best one. Shh, don't tell the others, don't tell the others. But I have a lot of fun with the Liberty Box. That's probably the one I've made the most often. I don't know why, but you can pre-order, and then when they're ready, you get an email, and then you can decide to purchase or not. And when you do decide to purchase, if you would use one of my links to get to the Fat Quarter Shop and then check out, that would be helpful. Put it in your box, put it in your cart, and then use one of my links to go back in, because that puts my tag so that I get a small commission, which helps me out. Okay, before we do the little retake, it is Color of the Month Day. I did this. This is my thing. I started, I think, last year, color every month, and it's going to be light green for this month. Light green quilts. So you have to look for things that have light green in them, which, whoops, I just dropped my book. Like I'm doing all of these greens for the 100 blocks. Slowly, I know slowly, but I am. And so that'll be fun to see your light green quilts. So go. Okay. I messed up on Monday's video with sharing the things that I was sent in the mail, so let's just look at it again. Came from Sonia in Texas. Look how pretty that is. Look how pretty. And oh my gosh, polka dot scissors, red polka dot scissors. Sonia, you just spoiled me. Plus, these are point protectors that go on the end of, well, they might go, it says embroidery scissors, yeah. So, I mean, a lot of times these point protectors first came out, they were just for knitting needles, but now they're for also, they make them that'll fit the scissors. So this is fantastic. I love it. Thank you. And then, did I tell you she was from Texas? Right, yeah. I think I told you that. I couldn't reach there. I put everything too far back. This is from April in Pennsylvania. Oh my gosh, this card cracked me up. Is this not a quilter's getaway? A quilter's girlfriends, absolutely. Or quilter's getaway of the quilt group, yeah. So cool. Then she found me some super cute mushroom fabric, and look at the bird on top of the mushroom. Oh my gosh, so cute. And a mushroom trivet. I love it. Plus, look at this tumbler. Looks like stained glass. This is so awesome. Mwah, mwah to both of you. Thank you so much for being out and about and thinking of me. It's just, that's just amazing. It really is. Thank you for thinking of me. Sorry about that mess up. It happens. It's real life here. I'm not a professional videographer or video editor, obviously. And there's nobody else doing it but me. It's all me. Okay, our grandma's kitchen. I have the whole thing, all that sewn. So we just have one more block. I have everything there. It looks super good. And I realized I forgot to show you the bonus. I put together, it says down here, block 13 with the heart block to make a chain. So there you go. If you are looking to do a quilt like this, there's how the 2 blocks would look. It would be so pretty scrappy. Just so pretty, so pretty. And you have to go look at all the tulip quilts. Oh my goodness. So many gorgeous tulip quilts were shared on Tuesday and Wednesday. So go to Quilt Along with Pat Sloan and take a look. Now, speaking of moving along, I finished Yay! And then I decided I'm absolutely going to do the little Oh Lucky Day. So I needed to get it going. Pick the threads, get everything together. Let's take a look. I want to pick the colors, the thread colors for Lucky Day, just to do this one. I cannot do the white because you can see on here the white on my background just doesn't show up at all. So I think I will do it in this color I did for the beard. That will be this thread right here. Then I'll do these all in the green. You know, the shamrocks and the tiny little, almost look like shoe fly blocks. Yeah. So I think that's what I'll do, this, and then I will have the brighter green and the darker green for contrast to do the shamrock here. So that is what I'm going to set up. Several of you have asked me what am I using this little toolbox for. I have in here has been this ring of threads. Up here are the kitty threads, and down in the bottom are just some other tools. Like I got these to work with. One of our friends sent me these darling mushroom guys to floss holders. I've got a snail pin cushion, a regular needle threader in here so I can find it, and another needle minder, you know, like a tabletop magnet thing. Some little unicorn scissors. And then this is to thread the bigger eye needle for doing the cross stitch. So that's what's in there. So I'm keeping this box here. This is working really well for me right here. Keeping some of my needle minders on the edges of it. So fun. Okay, so I am going to have this prepped because even though I've started the kitty again, here it is. I've started working on the kitty again. I do want to just do this little guy and have it. And I've started. So I started the D. There we go. So I've got the D going. And I think it'll be fine with this gold because I just don't want it all green. And I may, here you can see on here, Oh Lucky Day. So it's got the green shamrocks, and then it's got a couple of those little tiny green, I call them shoe fly blocks. But I might put a few more of those. And yeah, but the other thing I want to show you is, it's kind of funny, but when you look at this, do you see how the Y is a little bit more separated from the other letters? Like there's a bigger gap in the Y. I don't know if you watched the Pope's funeral the other week, and there was a lot of talk about on the casket the wording, the kerning. It's called the kerning, where the spacing between the letters was a bit wide on the one section. That is kind of what's going on here. It depends on, Greg is a tech writer and an editor by trade. So what happens is when you have a font, it has a standard way of separating each letter, and sometimes certain combinations of letters make the gap look bigger just because of how they look. So for me, I will be shoving both those Y's, Oh Lucky Day, the lucky Y and the day Y, I am going to shove them over closer so the Y's actually come up over the letters, because that is too big of a gap for me. I don't care for that much gap. So I will just, change it. Just change it. But I thought you might find that interesting, because I'm like, oh, well, this is the same thing that happened to the casket Pope. The Pope had. So sometimes you have to make a decision that's based on how something looks, not just the technical aspect of it. That's my thought anyways. Okay. I know, I digress. If you got my email yesterday, then you got the link to sign up for the Benartex virtual quilt show. My day is on May 20th, where I'm going to show you a fabric line that I did for the Virginia Quilt Museum. It is their line, but I'm presenting, and I did, the heavy lifting with the Benartex team to design it based on a quilt in their museum collection. And if you are on the show, you get to watch the live on May 20th. Alicia Thompson, from the director of the Virginia Quilt Museum, will be there on the event. So that is something you can sign up for, and the sign up link is in the description box here. It's also the pinned post, and it is at my website on the latest article. I am going to cut some more blocks for the 100 blocks, and I am not doing 100 blocks. I have decided I am going, I'm doing this layout, and I am doing less columns and less rows. So mine will be about 44 or 45. I need 28 more, and I'm trying for 10 a month, and I've already done a few this month. So let's look. What I'm going to do is the kind of the next section, kind of going through, and these are really easy ones here, where there's a lot of rectangle. You see a lot of space, a lot of rectangle. They're just rectangles. So like, don't they look easy? Like, yeah, I don't care. I'm all about the color on this. I don't know. I may not do that one. They look tiny spaces. Okay, do this one. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get maybe 10. See, like these are all, I don't know, maybe it's too simple to have all that many. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try to just go through here and cut up at least 8. And I pulled a few fabrics because there's a lot of space in these. These are still small blocks, but there's a lot of space that I can work with to show off some of the fabric, which is my whole goal with these. So I have got, this is a very old fabric that's been around. It was from Joel Dewberry, and it's got the seaweed or the coral stuff. This is a text print. This is an old Tula pink, and it has a lot of these imagery. So one of the ones where there's a lot of background, this is going to be the background piece. This just came in from a friend, and it's green, so this is going to go in it. Some of my fabric of these two that I was just using, so I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to cut them and layer them on the boards, and then just do it. I'm going to try 10. I may have to go to another section to get maybe a couple that are a little less simple, but and honestly, I don't really care how simple they are, because the whole deal is just to make this quilt very, very green. And so I will next year have a light green quilt to show, because I am still hoping to find maybe a super, 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 super barely, barely, barely green background. So I haven't looked, but once I do, I will find something. Okay, let's take a parade and look at sewing baskets. There are some amazing stories shown. Let's go. Anne's beautiful block in that turquoise and the little kind of tiny print for the background that has also the turquoise and yellow. She said that her grandma was a young widow and took in sewing to make ends meet. I'm sure there's lots and lots of stories out there about that. Lots of people did that. I hear it. Now next we have a different Anne, and her beautiful floral. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that big floral. And she said that her grandma made outfits and kept a basket of them. I think I remember the outfits were for her as a little girl, like they would come and visit, and every time she would get a new outfit. It's like that would be magical. That would be so magical. Billy's gorgeous, gorgeous block. I'm not sure if that's a black fabric in the middle, but it is so, so pretty. Kathy's beautiful block, and she has an amazing story. I'm going to tell you the story when I show you the next 2 slides. She said her first grandma had a mending basket that was in the seat of the chair, the sewing chair. We all know what that's kind of like. She was very impressed with that. But what this tin is it's an embroidery kit that was passed to Kathy from her mom when Kathy was 9. The tin was given to her mom full of chocolates about 1943 when she was 6 or 7. And it was given to her by a soldier who was marching by. She said sugar rations in those days were on, and this was quite a gift. How extraordinary and absolutely wonderful that you have that. And thank you for sharing with us. It's amazing. Such a treasure. Cheryl has lots of beautiful blue blocks and sashing. Look at that. Look how it is together. It is gorgeous. That tan with it, so pretty. Here is Cindy's gorgeous block. She's using a lot of different novelty prints. This one is hot dogs and hamburgers and ketchup. But her grandfather was a tailor, and so that cigar box on the back left there was her grandfather's tailoring box where he cut buttons and things off the clothing. Debbie said that her grandma's sewing basket was on the floor by her grandma's rocking chair, which looked out over the garden. Sounds so peaceful, doesn't it? And she used some amazing sewing fabrics in her block. Those are so pretty. Elna has the same fabric that I'm using, but she has done it in different positions than I am, and this is so much fun for me to see. Here's the block for the week, and then all of hers together, so you can get an idea of how they look. Oh, this is just so fun to see. Thank you for sharing. Kellyanne said that her mom's supplies were kept in a tiered tray like a Lazy Susan. That sounds very efficient. Okay, I'm just adoring, of course, your coffee fabric and that tile, that black and white kind of tile fabric. Love it. Okay, here's my friend Kendall's block, and he is using all these really cool dots. That's a Benartex fabric, and you have to go over and check out his channel here at YouTube, where he's sharing not only the blocks, but other things he does in life. Lynetta said that her grandma sewed on a treadle sewing machine. Yeah, anybody else? Anybody else? All those treadle sewing machine memories. Put them down in the comments here at YouTube. We want to hear them. So Lori's shared this block, her beautiful, beautiful pink block, and that tin was her grandma's, and her grandma owned an upholstery shop. Loving these stories, loving them. Linda's, look at this. I believe Linda redrafted this, is what she said, and so it's four of them together. Like if you're going to do them full size, that's how they would look, but she redrafted them into a smaller block. Oh my goodness, you go. That is awesome. Next, I have got Linda's and her grandma's sewing basket. She says one of them was for floss and one was for crochet. I didn't write which is which, but like they're so pretty. I love that one on the right. I've seen those before, not for a long time, but they are so unique. Here is an adorable block from Lisa with little doggy fabrics and her Christmas fabric. Christmas dogs. Michelle's grandma had lots of grandkids by all the time and foster children, and so she did lots and lots of alterations. That's what she remembers about her grandma. And Michelle look at the fabric that says stitch and sew, and then somebody sewing there. That's so cool. Just awesome to include those fabrics in your block. Here is Mildred's really, really wonderful block. It's so fun. Look at that. And she put in whining. Do you see it? And then there's sewing machine fabric. Her mom had a sewing basket, and she kept buttons and threads and tins. So yay! We'll have great memories. And then here are all of Mildred's blocks together. Don't they look amazing? So good. Ruth is sharing her grandma's mending basket. There it is. Isn't that beautiful? Look how pretty that is. She does still have a sock darner and needles. I think she even says some of the needles are threaded from her grandma. And your block is absolutely beautiful in blues and yellows. My friend Suzanne, who also helps as an ambassador, here is her gorgeous mending block. And the blue and green, oh my goodness. Can't wait to see all your blocks. Can't wait. Teresa, oh, look how fun this is. Her grandma had a Singer sewing machine with a stool that held all of the goodies. Yep, love those stools. They are so classic. And your fabrics, oh my gosh. What is a panty dress? Oh my goodness, what does that mean? Broadcloth panty dress. Okay, so for those of you who can interpret, we need interpretation for that. This little girl looks sweet in a broadcloth dress. Alrighty, did they mean party dress and they misspelled it? I don't know. Let us know. Teresa's beautiful, beautiful block, and this is her mom's sewing basket. I love it, and you've got pretty flowers there as well. And we wrap up with Trina's block, and she said her one grandma taught her how to make yo-yos. What a great, great memory. Thank you, everyone, for all of your beautiful, beautiful blocks and for sharing them with us. Okay, don't forget to share your green, light green, or light green, right? Share a very light green quilt. Can't wait to see it. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.